long as the sense of I as me, as my person, is here, the truth of it seems obscure, eclipsed in this remote, unreal, abstract fantasy. And yet this is all mistake. We believe in ourselves. The trouble is, this self is personal. We believe in yourself. The trouble is, it's personal. It's never stable. It's really heavy, inconsistent. But it's meant to be so, actually, for a while. Because without there being the ego, there could never have been a Christ, or a Buddha, or a monk, or a Mahavira, or a Maharshi, or an Anandamayi. Without the ego, there could never be. Because they represent transcendence over ego. If there was no ego, there's no transcendence. If there was no transcendence, there's no Christ. There's no Buddha. There's no ego, there's no ego. You understand this thing?
Right, and he says, and who understands this thing? It's not something you understand, it's something you go through and end up as. Do you understand that? Essentially, when I first studied the spiritual quest, in the very beginning, actually it was with Nomi. I've been already 9 years on the path forming, and I had this fear in a dream that there was a bomb right in front of my feet right here. And I was afraid. I was really afraid. This bomb was going to go off in the dream. And in the morning, when I got up and I told the master in my dream, he just poo-pooed it. There was nothing ever to fear. There was nothing ever to fear except that we have believed ourselves to be somebody. And because of that belief in me is a false belief. It's a false belief. There is no me. That's a very critical thing to understand. There is no me. We've never really looked at that to see if who is this me we're talking about actually. Are we really a person? Are we really this piece of flesh? Is that where consciousness lies? Are we the brain? When you go to the brain, you realize you have thoughts. You are having thoughts. Are you the thoughts? No. You are the awareness behind the thoughts. We've never examined who this me is. We've big time identified with the body and the mind from the minute we were born, and we were treated as separate. So we're living in a kind of dream or a misconception. Everybody believes in this dream. Doesn't make it real. Does it, just because everybody agrees and says, oh, you're over there and I'm over here. It's a form, and this dream is like made out of forms. But the formless, behind the scenes, the formless, the awareness, the consciousness, which you can intuit, is alive and is aware. It's not that you, the body and the mind, are aware, but the consciousness itself, by itself, is aware, is awareness, is intelligence, is intelligent, but it has no boundaries. There are no boundaries of this formless intelligence that we all share in. We just, because of birth, in a body, and with a mind that's not really given to see the truth so much as it isn't functioning in the dream world. It can do that. Go get a job, take care of itself, and feed itself, and have a family, and do all of these things. But we're missing the larger picture. There's a larger picture, which we are, and which we will always be. Beyond the body, we are part of that awareness. We are that awareness. We are. There are no demarcation. There's not a demarcation between you and me. And all these little things that I learned along the way, like healing, is really from the God Self. Is more confirmation. More of confirmation. That's what we all need to have, is confirmation that there is something more. That means the eye, the eyes, and the ears. More than that. There is a comprehension, an apprehension that there is and it talks to us. I mean, it not literally talk, although some people literally get information in words and mind. But it lets us know by its way of lining things up together. Do you get it? That I am the one that's taking care of everything, and it's like little glimpses of what's going on behind the scenes. Coming home from seeing Mariella, I turn on KPFK, and there's this guy talking about how healing happens. I mean, it's like right in line with what I have just been going through. And this is a way of letting you know, convincing you. I think it's all about getting convinced. Convincing you that there's something more here. And that you only suffer because you think you're in a war with others, with yourself, with fears, with misguided notions of what will really make you unhappy. So, the way I didn't sit like Muji and find out the truth by saying, who am I? And come to some conclusion that I'm not the body and not the mind. Through experience, like he's saying, but rather, well, it is through experience, but it didn't come by from my sitting there and just kind of being driven to see what he's implying. I didn't have that kind of wisdom. Didn't have that kind of wisdom in those past 30 years. Now I see what he's driving at, and if people could just see it, if they could just see that they were God, that they were the self, he thinks people will just get it. Ding! Just like that. Boom! He keeps saying, I wonder if anybody understands this. Guruji, it's kind of hard to do it. And it takes time. But it also, I keep on saying, which he mentions from time to time, there is grace in all of this that helps one along. I get excited, so I talk. Ultimately, there are no questions. That's what really is the truth. You end up without no questions. You enter into the silence and the emptiness. And you accept all things that come your way. What I would say about that is you accept them, but there's a deeper understanding. They could be grief, but then that passes. And there's a deep wisdom in knowing that none of it's nasty. None of it. That's the blessing of being older, is that we have that sense of the finite dream that we're living, and the urgency of really getting it before we pass away, because this is a great place that drives you to get to the truth. Great place, great training ground. Dr. Maharaj Ramakrishna. Ramakrishna used to get on top of hills or on top of his house and yell out, "Come!" and Rama called it Indian advertising. Come! What should I do? Should I go up there and yell, "Come on, folk, come over here, come to my house, here. This is what you all really want, liberation." And you have the grace of a high rishi, Maharshi. That behind you, that lineage. Well, all we can do is keep happy.
Keep happy. He's strong.
Yeah, he's strong. Keep searching. When you give up the search, that's it.
Yeah.
You've arrived. But it's curious about that. I want to reference that a little bit. There is a place, there is a time the searching does stop. However, Brahmananda from the Yogananda tradition, Brahmananda said it is in this wisdom. That's when the journey begins.
Oh.
And my experience is the same. Meaning, okay, now we can work on the fine points. the shaving away of the fine of the wood that has yet to come off. The refining. When you meditate and you spend time thinking about the self, about freedom, and that's what you want. And there's an intensity behind it. There has to be an intensity behind it. Granted, everything is inspired by God and it comes from God and it comes from the self. And even the inspiration for finding truth comes from the self. From your own higher being. You want it. And then life's little experiences aid that and help you to intensify your search, to want it, to really want it, because otherwise, how is there anything ever going to happen unless there's a strong desire for it? There has to be a strong desire. I had it. I had the desire, but it was created in me. Like, gosh, you know, Rama kicked us out of the center. And I was like, oh my God, how horrible. Then I started to, it began to really jolt me, you know, like I want to be free. I really do want to be free. I don't want to go through this, you know. So I'm just saying that happy intensity, come to Satsang. Come to Satsang, even though there's just maybe there's lots of non-physical beings here.
You can't see them.
Maybe they're
Here.
somewhere in the background watching, listening. Because everybody loves the truth, in the body or out. And that doesn't just come from me. Rama suggested it, that there are non-physical beings here that come and they listen to the truth. So we're blessed for having this opportunity to hear the teaching. We're really blessed. But I don't know what to do to the best I can do is just not worry about it.
Exactly.
And that's how we'll end the satsang today.
Thank you, Gina.
Thank you for coming. And see you next time. We're back this Sunday. It's also available 11:30 in the morning for those that can make it.
Good to see you.
Was that the lady you were saying you saw? Priscilla, was it Priscilla you saw? She saw the other day? That you said, oh, there she is.
Hey, someone left a hat just like mine here, but I know it's not mine.
That's mine.
Because, you know,
They're almost the same.
yeah.
That's funny.
Woo, what's that?
Goodbye,
Bye-bye.
Priscilla.
Bye-bye.
Okay, she's wasn't the one you saw?
No.
Oh,
She, a few times,
I can kind of remember like 3 times at least. She would always sit there when Alice wasn't here. And she looked like,
Oh, I think I know who you mean. She hasn't been here in a long time.
it's been a while.
She was
Like she was
black hair?
Samoan or
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
Dark.
the one I'm thinking of, it was from Iran.
Yeah.
From Iran. She only came a few times.
Yeah, but she seemed like she had been coming, at different times. But she was here 3 or 4 times.
And
When
that's
I
it.
saw her, I thought she was just waiting
To
to
come in.
come.
Yeah. Well,
If I see her again, I'll find out why.
Yes. Why are you coming?
There was a moment there when I felt like my body was just it wasn't connected with anything inside. It was just like
What's light?
there was no bones or anything
And there's
inside.
nothing there,
It was
it's
just
full.
like a shell. And, it was strange.
Good.
You know.
It's an experience. Good experience. So,
The tree really looks good.
the tree, yeah. Yeah, I was happy with it when I saw it.
I was good. He was out raking.
The raking, yeah.
Probably did it.
I know, I thought it took all those branches and let it look after my brother coming.
Gina, you're done?
Yeah, Basho,
Okay. Gina, whenever you finish, you go there and then
what do I press?
when you have to press this one. It's recording.
Yeah.
You have to press the top button here. The top one here.